friends, we're going to talk about something that is entirely important to being a intangible coach, transformation-based coach, being like a health coach, mindset coach, breathwork coach, anything that has intangible transformations that isn't like making money or weight loss, which feels much more tangible, right? And we're going to talk about how you can actually bridge the gap between where you are now and hitting higher income months by getting super, super tangible with your transformation. So the thing about tangible or intangible transformations is that a lot of people think if they're not selling money, if they're not selling Stripe screenshots, if they're not selling weight loss, if they're not selling something that's like you can picture that in your mind, right? That they're not going to make money from it. And so what they end up doing is they end up thinking like, oh, I'm making, $5K now, when, I could potentially be making 10 or 20, but that's not possible for me because I'm not selling money or something to that extent, right? And so it leaves you feeling like, because you're seeing all these business coaches that are effortlessly making money, like in order for you to do that, even let's say like manifestation, in order for you to actually make money, you have to be selling like, I can help you make millions and millions of dollars. So it doesn't take you selling money to make money, but what you do actually have to do is get super tangible in your marketing. So the reason that the business coaches seamlessly and easily are making 10, 20, even $100,000 months, right, is because make more money is a tangible transformation. So how do we do that when you're not selling money? How do we do that when you're selling something like breathwork or nervous system regulation or subconscious reprogramming or healing your gut, right? That's a little bit more tangible, but still there's some intangibility to it. And I see a lot of people make the mistake of saying stuff like, become your highest self, connect with your highest self, reprogram your mind, manifest your desires, unlock your mindset, regulate your nervous system. And this language that you're using is not tangible. And often it really repels those high ticket dream clients that you want to work with, because they're looking at that and they're like, I don't resonate with that. Like, what does up-level your life even mean? What does reprogram your mind even mean? What does manifest your desires even mean? Like, you know what I mean? Especially if there's someone who's like not quite in that world yet, but could potentially be a dream client. So people read those messages and they can't connect to them. They don't feel the emotional pull or desire to spend thousands and thousands of dollars for your offers. And so what a lot of these intangible coaches will do is they think they have to niche down. They think they need to start selling money. They, play their offers small. They think they need to have lower price points in their offers. And all of these are just blocks to getting to those higher and higher income months. So I'm going to give you a few tips to shift this and how to actually become more tangible in your marketing first. And then before that, I'm also just going to let you guys know that tomorrow, January 8th, all the pricing in all of my offers raises. So the pricing for TVA, the Visionary Accelerator, that pricing is going up. Pricing for one-on-one coaching and pricing for the Mastermind is raising across the board. So now is the time to reach out to me, have a conversation with me before tomorrow at midnight. So I guess technically January 9th. To have a conversation about any of these offers. The main difference between TVA and the Mastermind is that TVA is a foundational program. So we're actually building the foundations in your business. So if you don't have a fully well-rounded product suite right now, that's what we'll be doing in TVA. If you don't currently have a marketing strategy, that's what we'll be doing in TVA. If you don't know how to launch, that's what we'll be doing in TVA. Versus the Mastermind is somewhere where you might not be hitting like 10 or 20K months yet, but you do know how to launch. You've gone through launches in your business. You have a product suite. You have marketing. You've been showing up, but it's just you're feeling this level of frustration around like, I could be doing more. I could be going bigger. I could be hitting higher and higher income months. And that's what we do in the Mastermind is we have those deeper conversations around your marketing, around your messaging, up-leveling those to speak to a higher ticket buyer, as well as, making small refinements in your overall offer suite, your product suite, your marketing, your messaging to hit those higher and higher income months. So in the Mastermind, we reprogram, align, and then execute to higher income months. Whereas in TVA, we're really focusing on those foundations. So you can get into TVA technically for around $500 per month right now until we raise the price. And then you can also get into the Mastermind for the lowest price point right now on a 10-month payment plan if you join before tomorrow. So that's just a little side note. Both of these programs, we get into the messaging and marketing piece to increase your sales, because this is so entirely and extremely important when it comes to growing your business. Tweaking your product suite is not going to increase your sales if you don't know how to effectively market and message your ideal client and get them to understand why they need to work with you, right? Tweaking your launch strategy or the back-end systems in your business is not going to outwardly make you sales if you do not know how to market to your ideal client, right? So what I see a lot of people doing is they are so focused on the systems, the back-end, the website, how can I make all of those things better, when they forget that the thing that's actually going to push their business forward is getting visible, getting seen, marketing, selling, things that are actually going to get their offers out there and make people say like, oh, I need to work with you. So when I was really building my business up to the consistent 5 and multiple 5-year months in my business, there were a lot of things that I didn't possess in my business. I didn't have a very clear website. I didn't even have a freebie for a long time. All I was focused on was my marketing and messaging and getting my brand out there and getting known. And that's all you should be focused on as well too. So in the mastermind, while we do look at those other things, we do look at gaps in those other things, we're mostly focused on like, how do we actually get clients in your space and how do we do this for the long term? How do we get this happening on repeat so that you're not guessing where your next client is coming from? Or you're not feeling like it's a lottery system where one month you have a higher income month and the next month you're like, okay, am I actually going to be able to pay my bills? Because I know that happens to so many people. I've also seen people that have come to me where they've shared like, I've done everything in the back end. I have the funnels, I have the blah, blah, blah. I have all the things, but my business is not growing. And it's because they're lacking the messaging and marketing piece. It's because I look at their profile and I'm like, I have no idea what you're selling. Like, I don't even know what you're selling. I genuinely couldn't tell you by looking at like 3 of your posts what you're selling or what you do. And that is the problem. We want someone to come to your feed and immediately be like, yep, she's the person for me. So just as an example of this, like even if your offer isn't tangible, like weight loss and money, I already mentioned this, that's a super tangible transformation, right? You can still make your services feel tangible by focusing on like emotional lifestyle benefits that focus on feeling and experience. So just an example of this, instead of saying like, I help you heal your trauma, we could frame it as gaining tools to respond to stress and ease with clarity, or gaining tools to lessen emotional reactivity. And we can get even more specific with that, right? Like your trauma, there are so many symptoms that come from trauma, and this isn't like, I don't talk about trauma in my marketing. I'm just giving an example. There are so many symptoms that come from trauma, like emotional reactivity. Maybe you react to your boyfriend or your husband or your partner. Maybe certain things trigger you in the online space. Maybe you go to the grocery store and you're triggered, right? Like we could pull specific examples from that. And instead of just saying, I help you heal your trauma, what we're going to do is we're going to speak to those specific examples, whether they're desires, pain points, or symptoms that they're experiencing of that trauma on a day-to-day. And so again, instead of like, I help you heal your trauma, it's I'm helping you gain tools to lessen the triggers. I'm helping you gain tools to respond to any stress or, trigger with ease. So you don't have this emotional reaction, right? It just gets a little bit more tangible. Maybe instead of manifestation, like, I help you manifest your dream life. We say something like, I help you manifest your dream partner. I help you manifest, ease in relationships, or I help you manifest, right? We're just taking it a little bit deeper. And this doesn't mean that you have to niche down. It just means that you get a little bit more tangible. Maybe you even choose 3 different pillars that you focus on in your marketing. So I'm going to give you just a few, oh my gosh. My train of thought, a few more examples. I wrote some notes back here, so that's why I'm looking over here, but I'm just going to give you a few more examples on how we do this and what we do in the mastermind together to, create this level of tangibility to increase your sales. So just as an example, I do a lot of training around buyer types because buyer types are extremely and entirely important when it comes to sales. There are 4 buyer types. People all buy different ways. Some buy emotionally, some buy, with the use of like analytics and really heavy information. Some buy because they like what the impact that you're creating by purchasing that thing. And so I'm not going to go deep into each of the buyer types today. I actually made a post on this, but we'll take the emotional buyer. That's a really easy one, right? So emotional buyers want emotional connection. They want personal alignment with that person. They want to know that that person that they're buying from is an embodiment of what they preach. So making, your coaching tangible with an emotional buyer would be by telling your story in a tangible way. So we focus on emotional states, we paint a vivid picture, or we use stories and testimonials to make the outcome feel real. So emotional states could be something like stress or overwhelm, lack of clarity in their business. Painting a vivid picture could be imagine what it would feel like to work with me, right? When we work together, let's say you are a breathwork coach, instead of waking up every single day and feeling a tightness in your chest and feeling weighed down and, we're speaking to experiences, you feel like this instead. Or we use stories and testimonials to make the outcome feel real. So imagine waking up each day with peace in your body, feeling so excited to start your day, feeling freedom, releasing the cycles of doubt and stress that used to hold you back. You're just waking up and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for life. I cannot believe I created this life. Or picture yourself making decisions confidently in your business without second guessing your every move, feeling grounded and aligned in every aspect of your life. That is how we make it just a little bit more tangible, right? By saying, making confident decisions instead of I help you manifest your dream life. So that is just one example with an emotional buyer. Another way that I do this in my marketing is I tell stories. So if I look at I'll just pull up my Instagram so I can give you some specific examples, but if I look at my Instagram over the last couple of weeks, I've told a lot of stories because I have a lot of emotional buyers in my audience. So I say things like what you saw versus what you didn't see. So what you saw was a sold out mastermind launch while traveling every month, 80K in sales, effortlessly signing clients. But what you didn't see was me holding myself through the behind the scenes of what that launch entailed. So 3 weeks without an application, it being scary to launch a mastermind, etc., right? And I'm telling a story so I can talk about the Master Your Mind Mastermind transformation within that. So that is another way to pertain to this type of buyer without just, saying the Master Your Mind Mastermind is going to change your life, because that's not tangible at all, but I'm telling it through my story, right? Another way that I did this recently is I told the story of how I could have easily continued to fill my mastermind and made another 6 figures in sales and had a sold out program right now, but I don't, and here's why. So I told, this story of pertaining to this emotional buyer, this person who wants to be in a sovereign group of women, like why I didn't continue to sell this program when I could have, and it could be sold out and I could have made an extra 100K in sales, right? Instead, I decided to stop selling the program and cut it off in August and serve the women that were inside. And then, now I'm live launching it for this reason. And the reason I did that was because we're doing a lot of mindset work in the mastermind. And so I didn't feel comfortable having this program be evergreen where new people join every single month. Instead, I felt like the only way for it to be the most powerful, potent experience was to create a really small, safe group of women. And so that's another way that I've told my story. I've told, in tangible terms, why this mastermind is the space for you. Another thing that I've done recently is I told the story of hitting my first 20K month in business. And this was really powerful for my audience and sparked a lot of conversations. Again, it's tangible because I'm talking through the emotional experience I had at the time, what was going on in my life, how I lead myself. And that was a time that was incredibly emotionally charged in my life. I had just gone through a breakup. I just hit my first 20K month at the time. I just moved into my first apartment with Leo. I'd just gotten a puppy. There was so much going on. I just moved 900 miles away from my home back to my hometown. So again, it was a huge time in my life. So I can come back to that story. I pull from the archives. Again, that's super, super tangible. So when someone lands on my page, they know exactly what I'm selling. They know exactly what I'm about. They know exactly what I do. They know exactly who I serve in tangible terms. And it's not because I'm always selling money, because obviously I sell hypnotherapy, but it's because I pull all of everything that I talk about back to intangible terms, the hypnotherapy and the mindset work. And so this is how we get to those higher and higher income months, not by selling money, not by selling, weight loss or something super tangible, but just by learning to get more tangible in our marketing and speaking to those different buyer types. And this is exactly what we do in the mastermind together. This is also a foundation that we create in TVA together. And this is something that I see so many people struggling with in the online space, because again, even I'm scrolling and I'm like, I can tell exactly who's making money and who isn't by their marketing and by what they're posting every single day, because they're lacking clarity. I have no idea what they're talking about, they're using, you know, jargon like up level your life or nervous system regulation or, you know, up level your business. And I'm like, what does that even mean? We don't know what that means, right? So we need to get more tangible. And this doesn't necessarily mean that we have a crazy outcome, like I help you attract your dream partner in 3 months, right? Instead, it's like speaking to tangible experiences that people have. So an exercise that you can take to become more tangible in your marketing is you can get out a pen and a paper or a Google Doc, and you can think about, from the perspective of your ideal client, from the moment that they wake up to the moment that they go to bed, what are they experiencing on a day-to-day in regards to your offer? So like for me, for example, I know my ideal client is someone who has a lot of one-on-one clients, wants to diversify their product suite. They're a little bit overwhelmed in their business. They want to go bigger, but they're kind of like, you know, stuck where they're at currently because there's still so much going on in their day-to-day. So they're like, how could I possibly even do more? There's so much going on. So they're waking up and they're immediately looking at their phone and they're like, oh my gosh, I have 500, you know, messages from my one-on-one clients. I have to hurry and get back to these. And then they don't even eat breakfast. They just jump and grab a, you know, cup of coffee, and then they jump right on calls, right? And so there's like this frantic energy throughout their day. And that's like one version of my ideal client, right? So I can write this out and think about all the different versions of my ideal client. Maybe there's someone else who, you know, is waking up every single day just feeling a little bit in dread of their business because they're like, how am I going to create sales today? I've done everything that I should and I'm still not creating sales. I'm frustrated. I want to be, you know, at these 20, 30, 40, 50K month marks, and I'm right here. And I'm so good at what I do, and I'm so frustrated because I want to be there, right? So that's another very tangible experience. So you can walk through this day, morning till night, with your clients and gain these tangible experiences. And that's what I want you to market on. But this is all something that we do on a deeper level in the Mastermind and TVA, which again, both are raising in price tomorrow. So you're going to want to reach out to me so we can have a conversation about it. This is the missing piece to your sales. It's not getting more visibility. It is not necessarily like changing your product suite or your offer suite. It is getting more tangible in your marketing and making it feel like people like literally can't invest anywhere else because they're like, she's speaking exactly to me. This is my only option. So if you want to do this work together on a deeper level, definitely DM me about the Mastermind or TVA, or just DM me and tell me where you're at, and I can tell you what offer is the best for you. But I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope you saw tons of value from this. I'll talk to you soon.